Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's session. We have a large number of students and families registered for tonight's session, so I'm just going to allow a minute for everyone to get logged in. And we're so happy that you're taking the time to join us this evening. I'm not sure if any of you were in the virtual session on housing and living learning communities right before this. If you were, good for you for sticking around for a second session, but a lot of great information that we're going to cover this evening. So great to see all of you. And yes, I still see more people logging in. And for all of you students, congratulations on your admission. We can't wait to welcome you into our Orange family. And I know that some of the most common questions that we get are around, what's next? What do I need to do to prepare to arrive on campus? And how will I acclimate to campus? And what happens during orientation? All those things. So that is a lot of what we are going to cover tonight. So thank you again for joining us this evening. And it looks like, oh yeah, we still have folks joining in. So we will give another few seconds here. And I know some students maybe just came off of the spring break week, and some of you are in the middle of your spring break week. So hopefully you're having some type of break around this time of year to relax a little bit during your senior year. And hopefully you're enjoying all the fun things that go along with your senior year. But I think we are about ready to go ahead and get started. So again, my name is Jennifer Isif, and I'm on the admissions team here. I'm joined tonight by Butch Hallmark, who is our Director of New Student and Transition Programs. He is going to be leading tonight's session, and he will definitely introduce himself. I'm also joined by a couple of my wonderful colleagues, Kate and Stephanie, who will be assisting with some Q&A behind the scenes. And throughout tonight's session, you will see that Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. That is where you would enter any questions that you have. I would just suggest maybe you wait a little while before you start jumping in with questions, because I know Butch has a lot of information to cover. But as we go through the session, if you think of anything or have questions about something that maybe Butch has mentioned, certainly feel free to type that in. We may go ahead and answer that during the session, or if we feel that it's a great question that probably a lot of people have, we will save that for our Q&A time at the end and answer that live. So we will definitely have time at the end to answer any questions that you have, but we will take questions through the Q&A function. So I say let's go ahead and get started. So Butch, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much for having me. Um, like Jennifer said, my name is Butch Hallmark. I am the Director for New Student and Transition Programs at Syracuse University. Our office is called New Student Programs, and I'm going to go over a little bit about what our office does, but then also go ahead and get you started on what's next and what you can go ahead and start taking care of. Um, Taking care of between now and your arrival in August. So I'll just go ahead and jump right in. So before I get started, I just want to introduce you to who my team is. So there's me, the director. I also have two assistant directors, one over transition programming, which I'll get into a little bit later. Olivia does programming throughout the year to help students continue their transition to Syracuse University. The transition is not just during the summertime, it continues from the first semester, the first week, the 6 weeks all the way through the first semester through the second semester. So we've got some really good programming throughout the year for all of our new students there. Then I have Nick Steins. He's our assistant director for new student orientation. That'll be the first half of my presentation tonight is going over orientation things. And then if you've called our office already, you've probably spoken to Hyde. They are our office coordinator, and they are going to be the person that can get you plugged into whatever resource you're looking for. So if we can't give you that answer, or if we're not the ones you're actually looking for, they're going to be able to get you connected and do that gentle handoff with another office. So we also have three student leader teams that you'll be interacting with. Uh, this summer and into July. So if you're going to be joining us for orientation this summer in July, you'll be greeted by and you'll interact with our orientation leaders. They do a really intensive um, small group and wayfinding and just helping students get acclimated to campus in July during that optional orientation program. When you get here in August, you'll be greeted by the Goon Squad. This is one of the oldest traditions at Syracuse University, where members of different student organizations will sign up and come back to campus early, and they'll help students move into their residence halls. And we'll go over that process in a little bit too. Also during Welcome Week, so after you moved in, you'll be greeted by Welcome Week leaders. So these are students that are just really jazzed about you being there. They love Syracuse University, and they're going to show you all the history, traditions, and also those transition tips and tricks for new students as they get here to campus and start making this their new home. So again, like I said, new student programs, we serve all first year and transfer students. So if there are any transfer students on this call, we are here for you as well. We also are supporting all family members and supporters for all of our undergraduate students too. So we work very closely with parent and family services. All of our communication is typically parallel with each other. So when we have to send something out, that office will also mirror that communication to all of the parents, families, and supporters. And we physically work next to each other, and we do a lot of planning for all of our big events together. So some of the things we do as an office, we handle all new student communications. So we work with our Becoming Orange newsletters, which I'll go over in a second, and getting students prepared for their excuse me, prepared for their arrival in August. We handle new student orientation. So if we have an optional orientation program, which I'll go over in a minute, that will give students an opportunity to visit campus this summer and just kind of get their feet wet before August. We also have pre-welcome programs, which will allow students to move in early and participate in one of 8 or 9 pre-welcome programs that align with students' interests or identities or communities. We also facilitate Welcome Week, which is the actual required new student orientation program for Syracuse University. And like I said, we also handle transition programming. So after class starts, you'll see us popping up throughout campus throughout the school year for different programs and events for students to get connected and develop some leadership skills and sign up for leadership positions, things like that. So let's talk about communication. So for any student that that is definitely coming. So if you've said, "Hey, I'm coming," and you're on this call, we're going to be sending you Becoming Orange newsletters. This newsletter only goes to students, but we do archive these newsletters on our website. So family members, as soon as we send this newsletter out to the student's email, we put a link of that email on our website, so you can kind of cross-check and help your students stay on track. This is a busy time of year, summer with summer vacation, summer jobs, all that kind of stuff. It's good to have as many eyes on this communication as possible. This is going to include a lot of important updates. It's going to include a lot of things that will help you get prepared for coming to class, coming to campus in August. That's not just the required tasks, but it's also resource sharing. What resources are you going to want to be aware about before you get to campus? So that way you just have all of your ducks in a row before you get here. So switching gears to new student orientation. So we have new student orientation and family and supporter orientation. These 2 programs happen simultaneously. It is open to all students, all first year students, excuse me. The dates are over here on the left side. It happens through the month of July. If certain schools and colleges are participating in certain dates. So every school and college, no matter what your major is, you have the option for that July 20th session. We're calling that a first year express session. So it's just the meat and potatoes of orientation. You do get connected with other new students. You get a lot of the important sessions that happens during those 2-day sessions. And we do campus tours and experience in the dining hall, all that kind of stuff. The overnight sessions, we house the students in a residence hall overnight. Um, so if you're choosing the July 6th session, you'll be staying in the residence hall on July 6th. Um, this offers an opportunity to kind of get a glimpse of what living on campus will look like, living with another person will look like. So you'll be paired with a roommate. Um, we have a lot of students that are, I've already picked my roommate for this year. We're going to go ahead and come to the same orientation session together. Please put us together in a room. We can do that for you. We've already done that for several people so far that have registered for orientation. So anybody can come to that July 20th session, and certain schools and colleges will be at the other 4 sessions. So if you're in iSchool, you'll be in I forgot which ones, but you'll be in one of the two or 2 of the 4 sessions, um, overnight sessions, and then the third would be that July 20th session. So everybody has 3 different options depending on their homeschool or college. If you go to our website, you'll see all the FAQs about first year, about new student orientation, who is coming to which session, so which schools and colleges will be hosting students at which sessions, um, how to register, all those things. Just some highlights again is the overnight stay in the residence hall is a really big component of this event of a new student orientation. Students can bring up to 2 family members or supporters to the program. So again, family and supporter orientation happens at the same time, and just due to capacity and space, we really can only allow for 2 family members or supporters. It's also not recommended to bring siblings that might be that could get bored easily and things like that. This is a lot of, you know, getting prepared for college kind of conversations. So if you have a student that's in high school, a sibling that's in high school and is starting to think about college, maybe that would be a good opportunity to bring them to orientation. But we do limit that to 2 family members or supporters. This is also free for all students and families to attend. So if you register for it, the only thing you've got to take care of in terms of funding is concerned is getting to campus and then getting home from campus. Um, Family members, we do not house you overnight in a residence hall, so you would be responsible for your own overnight accommodations. But for the student, that's taken care of. All the meals are taken care of. All the materials and swag items that we give to both the students and the families, that's also provided as well. And just so I'm clear before I move on to the next slide, if you do not attend new student orientation or family and supporter orientation, it is totally okay. This is an optional experience. You can see different testimonials and quotes from students who have participated in this on our website, but all of the required orientation things will still happen in August during Welcome Week. So even if you come to orientation in July, you will still have certain meetings you have to attend during Welcome Week. There is no housing advantage to coming to new student orientation, and there's no academic advantage to coming to new student orientation. However, there are a lot of other advantages that you can read about on our website and how this can set you up for success before class starts. Yeah, I've already said that. So you can go to our website, you can see all the schedule highlights, you can see what time you can expect the program to start, what time that you can expect the program to end. Our final 3 sessions are starting to fill up a little fast. So if you are thinking about this program, please make some decisions in the next few weeks and get that registration sent in. Okay, so while new student orientation is happening in July, we're still sending those Becoming Orange newsletters to everybody, and we're talking about Welcome Week and Move In and all those things. So I want to highlight our pre-welcome programs. So these take place August 14th through 19th. The start date depends on the program. Students can attend one of these programs. You can't attend more than one, but you can sign up to attend one if you'd like to. So I'm just going to do some quick highlights of these programs. So Q's First is and just so we're clear, all of these programs, anybody can attend them. It doesn't matter if you share that interest, if you're wanting to kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone, if you share that identity or that community, or if you want to learn more about those communities and identities, they're open to everybody. So we have Q's First. That's primarily geared toward first generation college students. So any student whose family member, whose parent or supporter did not attend and receive their college degree, that program is for you. That program is free. And that move-in date would be August 16th. Connections pre-welcome is kind of the same in the same vein as Q's First, but it is geared toward our students of color. Um, and that move-in date is August 16th, and that is also free. We also have our Christian Student Welcome Program, Fresh Fest program, and then our Muslim Student Life Welcome program. Those three programs are run out of the different chaplaincies in Hendricks Chapel. There are costs associated with those pre-welcome programs. So just you can explore those on our website and you can see how to register, what the cost is, and what those move-in dates are as well. If you're part of our Indigenous Student Welcome or our Native Student Program, you would be invited to different sessions early on in that pre-welcome week. You'll get direct communication from that program for those. And then we have three programs that are run out of the Barnes Center at the Arch Recreation. So our Loop programs, so that's our leadership outdoor orientation programs. We have two different ones. We have the Adirondack Adventure, which is where we take students to the Adirondack Mountains, and we do a really intensive leadership development program out there. And then we have our Odyssey Adventure, which is the same idea, but it happens on campus. So a lot of we do high ropes and low ropes on campus. We do different or the Barnes Center will do different activities for students in that way. So it's more leadership development rather than outdoors. While the Adirondack Adventure is more of the outdoors and leadership development. And then we have our Wilderness Intensive Leadership Development Program, or the WILD program. That is incredibly intense. So much so that they require an interview to be accepted into that program. It's a very small number of people who are allowed to participate in that program. This is something that you would need to have had a lot of outdoors and camping experience to be able to qualify for that program. Okay, so those were the pre-welcome programs. You can start registering for those now. Also, right now, you can start taking care of required tasks. So if you go to our website, you'll see under I think they'll put the link in the chat. But you'll see a list of required tasks that you need to take care of between now and there's several deadlines. The first one of which is coming up in June, the June 1st deadline for applying for housing and things like that. But these required tasks will tell you the step-by-step instructions on how to complete those tasks. So whether it's setting up your MySlice, your email, all those things, you'll also have your health insurance, and making sure that you either opt out or and waive health insurance or enroll in the health insurance. Community wellness requirements, health history, and immunization records. Those things, the quicker you do those, the less different offices are going to be bothering you throughout the summer. So if you can, go ahead and start taking care of those within the next month or so, or next couple of months, I'm sorry. Those are all going to be due during the summer. And then as we move through the summer, you're going to start getting, or through the spring, you're going to get some communication about some additional required tasks as it pertains to academics. So every first year student will receive a survey from their home school and college. That survey is going to ask questions like, are you expecting any AP credits? Are you expecting to take any foreign language? Things like that. All those things that will help the advisors get set up to start building your course schedule. Um, it's very important that you complete that survey as soon as you get it. They send it out in mid-May, so you'll have, I think, a month or so, maybe up to a month to complete it. So as soon as you see that email, make sure you set aside a time to complete it. Every student will get a unique link. So if Jennifer gets her survey from her advisor, even if she and I are in the same school in college, she can't send me that link and me use it because that would be specific to Jennifer. So make sure you complete that as soon as you can, whenever you get that in May. Okay, so all of the required tasks are taken care of. You've gone through July, you come to orientation, or maybe you didn't come to orientation. Regardless, we're ready to have you at new student move-in. So if there are any international students, your move-in will be on August 14th and 15th. Because they have additional orientation requirements that they have to complete, in addition to all the stuff that our office puts on. So if you're coming for a pre-welcome program, that move-in date will be either Sunday, August 16th or sooner. And if you go to our pre-welcome webpage, you'll see all the start dates for those programs. That will be the date that you would move in for that program. Domestic student move-in. So if you're not participating in a pre-welcome program, if you're not a student athlete that requires you to come back to campus early or a marching band, then your move-in will be August 17th, 18th, or 19th. We have a new webpage that just launched a week ago called My Move-In Hub. This has complete instructions and what to expect at every step of the housing move-in process. So step-by-step instructions on how to apply for housing. What does the roommate situation look like? How do I select a roommate? When is that deadline? Um, what does selecting my move-in date look like? So in the past, you might have seen, and we've received some phone calls about this already too, that before we used to assign students their move-in date and time based on where they're from. So maybe their home state would designate which move-in date they would be assigned to. This year, we're letting students select their move-in date and time. So all students who are moving in August 17th through the 19th will be able to select one of those dates and then 1 to 2 hour time slot on those dates. Um, and then again, if you go to our website, you'll see all the details on what that process is going to look like. And a lot of the details will be coming via email later this summer, which that will be indicated on the My Move In Hub webpage as well. Okay, so you've moved in. And then you're getting settled. You've done your Target runs and all that kind of stuff. You've gone to IKEA, which has just opened within the last 6 months or so. You've taken care of everything in your residence hall. Now Welcome Week starts. So Welcome Week is just that onboarding process for students, but also for families too. We have programs for families. Families are invited to a lot of our events during Welcome Week. And I'm going to highlight some of those here. But what you'll be taking care of during Welcome Week is the academic advising. So you'll have received your class schedule during the summer. And if you have any questions about your schedule, if you want to change your schedule, you'll be able to meet one-on-one with your academic advisor during Welcome Week to do any kind of schedule adjustments. You'll also connect with staff, not just your faculty members. You'll be connecting with staff all across campus during open houses, campus tours, different events that will be put on during the week, and so forth. We'll have open houses, like I said. These will be open houses. They'll be open to families as well. So you'll be able to explore all the resources that your students will have available to them. And then the first required event is convocation, which I'll go into in just a second. You'll also have your residence hall floor meetings, where you'll get to meet your RA. You'll learn the expectations of living in a residence hall, what it means to live in a community. And then there'll also be some socials and stuff for family members and supporters. So the signature events for Welcome Week will start as soon as a student moves in. So if you're here for a pre-welcome program, those events won't start until Monday. But if you're moving in on Monday, August 17th, you will have something to do every night. So that first day, the residence halls will have socials in each building. So for some, depending on who's moving in early or who's moving in on that day, the building might be a little on the quieter side. This is an opportunity for us to bring everybody who's in the building together in one central location and just do a social and hang out and meet other people. On Tuesday, August 18th, we have an ice cream social, and I know that sounds pretty simple, but this has grown and turned into quite an event year over year. So the marching band comes out, they do a pep rally on the steps of Hendricks Chapel. This is also a place where a lot of people will start to meet new friends outside of their residence hall and outside of their room. So this will happen after moving on August 18th. After people have gotten settled. This is only for students too. So family members, I'm sorry, but you were not invited to that event. And then Slices Right on Wednesday, August 19th. This is after everybody has moved in. The Slices Right is also one of the oldest traditions at Syracuse University. It started back in the 70s, I think it was, where it's basically a game show that's put on by students for students. So our Welcome Week leaders will create a game show. We bring all the students into the dome. It's just students in there. And this is where we teach history, traditions. There's some prizes to be won. And everybody gets to participate in this event. Everybody is eligible for those prizes. It's a lot of fun, but this happens the night before all of our required stuff. So the next morning, Thursday, August 20th, we have new student convocation. This is the first required event for all students to attend. Family members are also invited to this event as well. We're also going to be live streaming it and recording it. So if you are bringing your student in, say August 14th for the Wild pre-welcome program, we can't expect you to stay in Syracuse for a week to attend this event. So we will be live streaming it and it'll be recorded and everything. But this is a bookend formal ceremony to commencement. So all the pomp and circumstance of commencement when you will graduate in 4 or 5 years. This is that same type of event, but at the very beginning of your college journey. This is where you officially become a Syracuse University student. Then we end convocation with a big picnic on the dome turf. And then all the open houses and dean's welcome meetings and all that kind of stuff happens that afternoon. Family members, we do encourage you to leave at by 5 p.m. on Thursday, August 20th. There will be no additional programming for family members after that point. That evening, we have Orange Blast. So it's a two-part event that starts on the quad and then it ends in Shine Student Center. This is your first opportunity to get plugged into different student organizations. So it's an involvement fair on the quad. All the Goon Squad members that you saw during move-in, they are going to be there to actively recruit for their student organizations. We typically have uh, between 40 and 60 student organizations out on the quad actively recruiting and looking for first year and transfer students. This is pales in comparison to the big involvement fair that happens later on in September, but it is still an early opportunity for you to put your name on that contact list and get connected before class starts. We also have food and we have inflatables, and we'll have all of um, our performing student organizations will be doing a showcase in Shine Student Center after the involvement fair is done. So that's Thursday, August 20th. On Friday, this is when students will begin to have their academic meetings. So your advising meetings, exploring your school, homeschool or college, meeting with faculty and staff, meeting your peer advisors within your school and college. That will all start on Friday, the 21st. And then everybody's schedule during that day is different. So if Jennifer's an architecture student and I am in the College of Arts and Sciences, our schedule is going to be way different that day. So to address some of those fluctuating schedules, we'll be having community meetups throughout the day on Friday and Saturday for students to sign up to do things that align with their interests. So we will do a trip to Green Lakes that will be led by the Barnes Center at the Arch. We'll do a book. We did a book club last year that was surprisingly popular. So we're going to be doing that with libraries again, and a bunch of other different things. We're still working on that schedule and growing that schedule compared to last year. So there will be something for everybody to do no matter what's happening that day. That evening, we have our Welcome Week Fete. This will be its fifth year, and it keeps growing. This is again another involvement fair type event, but this showcases all of our different cultural organizations on campus that primarily serve students of color, but also different regions of the world and things like that that will be recruiting students. We also have performances and stuff and really, really good food. This is it's a fan favorite event. A lot of dancing, all that kind of stuff. So come to that. Greek organizations, if you're interested in looking into our Greek organizations, they'll be at that event as well. On Saturday, August 22nd, we have community meetups again. There's still some academic meetings that will be happening on Saturday. And then we have our Dome Suite Dome event. So you might have seen photos floating around of students forming the big block S in the dome. This is that event. So students will funnel into the dome. They'll get their Welcome Week t-shirt. The marching band will be on the field. They'll be forming an S. And then all the students will kind of fill in and we take a photo and do a really fun video with that. And that'll happen that afternoon. And then finally on Sunday, August 23rd, this is everybody's favorite event where we take students downtown in downtown Syracuse. We invite different local vendors that will be giving out free samples of their food, whether it's food trucks, restaurants, and things like that to just let students expose themselves to the city of Syracuse. So if you think about our Welcome Week program, we start small in the residence halls. We keep growing out. So you're exploring campus, then you focus on the school college, then you focus on the city of Syracuse. So we're really trying to get you acclimated to every aspect of your new home during Welcome Week. And then Monday is August 24th, and that's the first day of class. Like I mentioned earlier, just very briefly, I want to touch on the big involvement fair that happens in September. This is where all 300 plus student organizations will come out over the course of 2 or 3 days to actively recruit for new members of their organizations. So you get started with getting acclimated to your class schedule and everything like that and your new routine. And then we jump into getting you plugged in and involved. Uh, just a pro tip, show up with an empty bag or some room in your backpack on that day because they give out a lot of stuff, whether it's stickers, magnets, giveaways, food, all that kind of stuff. So show up with some room to put things in for the involvement fair. Just a plug for my colleagues over in Parent Family Services. Family Weekend has been announced for October 16th through 18th. Registration details and everything will be coming soon from the Parent Family Services webpage and the Orange Family Connection portal. So be looking out for that. Okay, and just to kind of before we go into questions, just wanted to plug in these final things. So our webpage, I know they've been putting those links in the chat. Definitely for students, follow our Instagram. We amplify a lot of our communication that we send over email on our Instagram as well. And we'll be doing some takeovers and things this summer. So if you can't come to orientation, you'll get to see some aspects of it. So you can kind of I don't want to say FOMO, but like you can at least get some of that experience this summer. But also email us with any questions you might have. So like I said, Hyde is ready to answer and get you answer any of your questions and get you connected. But that's all our contact information, and I'm ready for questions, Jennifer.
Great. Thank you so much, Butch. You ran through a lot of information there. And I guess the first thing I just want to say to our students and families, don't worry, don't feel that you have to remember everything that we just covered. So much more information is to come. We will certainly keep you posted. I should say Butch will keep you posted, his team, through those Becoming Orange newsletters, the new student programs website. There's going to be so much information to come over the coming months, especially, starting after May 1st. So, don't worry, you won't be left in the dark, but we do have a lot of questions, a lot of similar questions on some things. So trying to condense with some similar ones. So first of all, some questions from our incoming transfer students. And yes, I know you mentioned that they will certainly be included in events during Welcome Week, but I believe, is there a specific date that they need to come? So
Yes. So we do have transfer orientation. That'll be August 19th. Communication about that will go straight to transfer students. So you don't have to adjust any of your schedule. I know a lot of uh, that's we'll continue to get more information, and more students will make those decisions later on this summer. So we're going to make sure that once we have all of our ducks in a row on all things transfer orientation, we'll be sending that out to you. But it'll be about a half day schedule, and we'll also, just to be clear, like transfer students, you've already been through this already. You've been through that orientation experience about like what college is like. So what we're going to do during transfer orientation is teach you what Syracuse University is like. So maybe one of those things that were called that you called at your previous university, we'll tell you what the equivalent of that is here and how to get plugged in into those resources that you might need. Uh, so be looking out for information on that, but that's August 19th. And we'll work with you on that. If your move-in date is August 19th, we will make some arrangements for you to complete all of your tests there.
Great. And several questions around the orientation over the summer. So, first of all, questions about, and I think you did answer this, family. They are on their own for accommodations, correct? It's only the student in the residence hall. Great. And we've had a few questions like what to bring, especially around bedding. And I know that students that are, do register for orientation, you'll probably be sending out a list of things.
Yes, we do send out a list, and I think that might be on our website. If not, it's coming. But what we do is we do send a know before you go email about a week or so in advance to help you get prepared. So what to bring. We kind of try to estimate what the weather is going to be like so we can tailor that know before you go email according to what session you've signed up for. We'll give you all the instructions on linens. We do provide that. Um, you can also bring your own, and we won't have to provide that to you. It's up to you. But we'll give you all the stuff of like what what we provide to you on an as needed basis, and then what you just have to cover for yourself. So yeah, all that's coming.
Great. And do you have a wait list for orientation dates, especially for families that might be far away and would have to plan accommodations?
Sure. We do anticipate filling up this year. We have not filled up in the past. So I think that what our plan is we're going to be we do have some wiggle room on some of the capacities. We're not close to filling up, but we are filling up quickly. So you've got some time if you're wanting to keep. I would say you probably have another month or so to really decide. I do know that session three, um, that I forgot which session that is off the top of my head, but session three is the one that's filling up the fastest. So keep that in mind if that's one of the sessions you're looking at. Um, but yeah, we you've got plenty of time. And if you have any concerns about that, like, hey, I need a couple of weeks to think about it, just give us a call and we can work with you and see what we can do. Um, yeah, we'll take care of you.
And I just want to make sure students cannot register for orientation until they matriculate or they
Correct.
commit.
Yes. Yeah.
So just a reminder for everyone, May 1 is the deadline to submit your admission acceptance form as well as any applicable deposits to secure your space. But then once you do that, that's when you'll be able to start registering for housing and orientation and all those things. So great. Several questions about registering for classes and placement exams. So can you just quickly kind of go over that timeline and then what to expect for placement exams as well?
Sure. So, when advisors will send that survey that I mentioned earlier, in that email, it'll also tell you about placement exams. If you go to our academics webpage on our website, you'll see what placement exams are required for each school and college. We do need to update that on some dates, but the requirements are still valid for all first year students. Um, Transfer students, your situation could look a little different, and your school and college will communicate that to you directly. I should also note that transfer students will not receive that survey. Again, your advising needs are very different than first year students. You're coming with college courses already, so you'll have a bit more of a traditional advising uh, model that you probably were used to at your previous institution. Um, the placement exams will be they'll give you the deadlines when those are going to be available in that communication from the school and college. Again, each school and college will send it all basically at the same send those surveys to everybody at the same time, but they'll have different due dates for different things. So I know families love to talk in the family Facebook groups and things like that. Just be aware that some of these communications are going to be very unique to your student, and rely on the college advisor, either school or college advisors, not word of mouth. And if you have any questions about those things, if you want to kind of get a better understanding of what that process will look like, also on the academics webpage, you'll see different contact information for all the schools and colleges. Highly recommend reaching out to them directly. As we're getting into the springtime, a lot of these advisors are um, they're currently registering students for next semester's class. All the current first year students are doing course registration right now, and then they got to start doing degree verification for those that are graduating. So if you do reach out to them, just be patient. You're not going to miss anything. Trust me, if you miss something, they will let you know it, and you'll get caught up to speed. But if you do reach out to them, just be a little patient, and they'll get back to you. I promise, within a very reasonable amount of time.
Great. And I know you mentioned some events during Welcome Week that parents can attend. Are there any events that parents are required to attend? And how long do parents typically stay on campus during Welcome Week?
Great question. Great question. So, families are not required to stay for anything. I know that a lot of families, especially if you're an alum of Syracuse University, or if you just grew up loving Syracuse University, or if this is your first student, or whatever that situation looks like, you're probably going to stay for a little bit. We also know that this is during the work week. Maybe you're only able to take off enough time for move-in and getting your students settled. So we don't make anything required. Anything that's for families that is going to have like any kind of session that's maybe directly directing it at families tends to be recorded. Especially if our my partner and or colleague in Parent Family Services does anything new this year, she's likely going to record it for families. Different schools and colleges will do like dean's welcome meetings, and only a small portion of them are open to family members. So if I can recommend anything for any family member to attend, it would be New Student Convocation on Thursday, August 20th. That begins at 10 a.m. in the Dome. And then we have that lunch afterward on the Dome turf for all students and family members to enjoy. So that would be my recommendation. But families definitely they tend to at least leave campus by 5 p.m. On that Thursday. We do know that some family members do stick around in the city and they do their own exploring. Maybe they do some like one last dinner during that week with their student. Your situation is your situation, but um, there is nothing required. Most people stay through Thursday. But again, if you have to leave early, convocation will be recorded and live streamed so you can like, watch along with your student.
Great. And at what point do students select the move-in date?
So that'll happen in July. And I know that can make a lot of that might bring some anxiety for a lot of you. So what we're doing with our partners in housing, meal plan, ID card services, they might have even mentioned this in the previous session if you were on that session with living learning communities and whatnot, that there will be options for you to choose or to move in. You will be able to move in whatever day you want to move in. It might not be the ideal time you want to move in. So say you want to move in at 2 p.m. on that Wednesday, maybe 2 p.m. is taken, but noon is not, maybe 4 p.m. is not. Those time slots are just when you need to show up to the holding line. So we've got some flexibility there. And then after 5 p.m., anybody can move in at any point. So if you don't get the time to that you want, but you still want to move in on that day, or you have to move in on that day, uh, go ahead and select the after 5 p.m. time slot, and then you can just move in at that point. that will have an unlimited number of time slots. So, um, and if you're having some issues and you're just like, because again, we know that making these plans, solidifying the plans with us in July might not be the most ideal when it comes to booking plane tickets and traveling and taking off work and everything. Go ahead and make the plans based on what you want to do, um, and then we will take it from there, and we can work with you. Um, but I would say even we had students select their times a few years ago. Then when we assigned students their move-in times, we had very few people not get the time or at least the date that they wanted. So we'll be able to work with everybody. Just go ahead and make your travel arrangements if you need to, and then you'll see that those instructions in early to mid-July.
Great. And for international students, are they assigned an orientation date or do they have to register?
Oh, great question. So orientation for this is a couple a two-part answer, I guess. So international students are not you can come if you're an international first year student, you're more than welcome to come during the summer orientation sessions. But we do have a dedicated international orientation for all international students, um, August beginning August 15th. So they can move in on August 14th and 15th with that program starting that night. Um, and then the orientation stuff will happen throughout the weekend during domestic student move-in. While that's happening, international student orientation is still happening. And what's covered during that program is we'll take the students shopping. So if you're just coming with a suitcase and you need to buy everything for your room, we take you shopping. We get you connected to different banks in the area, different cell phone companies, things like that. So it's beyond just getting acclimated to campus, it's also getting acclimated to the United States. So I highly recommend you just coming to that international orientation. All international undergraduate international students do orientation at the same time um, in that mid-August timeframe after you move in.
So I have a very important question I see here. How can incoming students purchase tickets for
I knew it.
football, basketball, getting ready to join Otto's Army?
Great. Well, there's obviously a lot of excitement right now surrounding our athletic teams. Um, So that information is going to be coming soon. We'll be putting that in our Becoming Orange newsletter. We also have a web page on our website called New Student Checklist. This is going to be kind of a kill two birds with one stone answer. So on that web page, you'll see how to rent micro fridges, how to buy football tickets, basketball tickets, or both. What to bring to campus is in terms of like moving in, like what you can expect, what you're, and we also do some links to the residence halls, I think on that web page, so we'll tell you the dimensions of the different residence halls, the bedding, all that kind of stuff. So what to pack, what to bring to campus is on that new student checklist web page. So more to come. I don't think that they're quite ready yet to start selling tickets, but it'll be happening this summer. And again, we'll give you a step-by-step instruction on how to do that.
Great. So if a student is, let's see, a local student, but coming from outside of the US, do they attend as an international student or for other orientation for domestic students?
That's a great question, and we actually leave that up to you. Because you're a local student and you're not coming from outside the United States, or if you hold dual citizenship, maybe you live abroad, but you are an American citizen. All those situations are unique to you, and we are ready to accommodate regardless. So for if you've lived in the United States for a while, or if you're local, and you're just a permanent resident, then you're more than welcome to attend international orientation, but that's not something you necessarily need to do. You're also more than welcome to attend new student orientation during the summertime. Um, but if you are interested in attending the orientation for international students, they will be ready to accept you, and you'll be able to go through that process as well. Same thing for our citizens abroad. If you spend more time outside the country than you do here, you might want to just hop in on some of those international orientation sessions, but it would not be required for you.
Great. And also, we have some students that are veterans or military connected students. What special orientation events for those students?
Yeah, so we'll have a couple of different sessions for them. For military connected veteran ROTC, Air Force ROTC, you'll have some specialized sessions, I believe, on uh, Wednesday the 19th and Thursday the 20th. Um, Typically, I know this past year they had their orientation on Thursday morning before convocation. If you're a veteran, you're used to being up at 7 a.m. for your meetings and for different things like that. So that's typically when that orientation starts with a resource fair following convocation, specifically for veteran and military connected students. But again, some of those, and that will all be built into the Welcome Week schedule, but you'll also get outreach from the NVRC, the National Veterans Resource Center, about those programs specifically.
Wonderful. Well, I think that concludes the questions we have. So thank you everyone for all these amazing questions. And again, don't worry, more information is to come. But those of you that have accepted your offer of admission and you're on your way to becoming Orange, make sure you do set up your SU Mail account, because most information, most communication from the university going forward will be sent to that account. So just always keep an eye out on that. But anytime you have questions, need assistance, not sure where to go to look for information, you can always contact the Office of Admissions, but also available to contact new student programs. Their team is always ready to help. And we can't wait to welcome you to campus this fall. So thanks so much, Butch, for helping tonight. Lots of great information that you provided, and we look forward to working with you over the summer to welcome our new students.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night and go Orange.